I spent months trying to organize my writing life like a business. Every goal had a deadline, everything looked productive until I couldn't write. Hello, fiction babes and storytellers. Welcome to Habits of a Writer, the podcast where we talk about the habits that lead to a finished manuscript. I'm your host, Portia Levette, novelist, indie author of 2 published novels, and fellow writer currently saving up for the book cover for my 3rd novel. If you open up my writing planner, there's a big difference between it and my life planner. My writing planner has a monthly calendar, a dashboard, and a series of line pages. I never questioned why they look so different until this year. I started this year off with some very aggressive goals. I'm still on track to meet them. However, I approached them wrong. I came at my goals like an assassin approaching their target. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy checking off boxes on my to-do list. But instead of enjoying the story as it unfolds, I was exhausted. But instead of listening to myself, I doubled down because that's what the business world taught me. Set the goal, build the plan, execute. And these technically are the same steps we take in writing, but I found myself struggling to find a way to get the words on the page. I stopped and tried to figure out what was wrong with me because we always think we're the problem. My solution? Clean off my desk. Organize the notebooks. Rearrange the plot cards. Surely color coding my scenes would solve everything. I couldn't even take myself out of work mode. I went over my plot, my scene cards, and my character notes. You would think I knew at this point to step away. Nope. I decided to work on an abandoned project. What I was doing was what we were trained to do. I know many of us, especially those of us who built careers in traditional workplaces, were taught that productivity equals progress. I finally walked outside and stuck my toes in some grass. I sat down in it and soaked up the sun's rays. I did this alone, no dogs, no phone. I felt that familiar feeling. It was burnout. Not menopausal brain fog, not me losing my ability to write, not the time of day I was choosing to write, just good old-fashioned burnout. What I learned that the productivity gurus didn't teach was that the creative brain does not switch on and stay on. It needs margin, curiosity, play, wonder, inspiration. I needed to stop thinking like a person sitting in the boardroom and think like the person with pen in hand and her gray spiral notebook. I needed to step back and just allow. And don't think words magically showed up after 20 minutes in the sun. It still took some weeks. My pen and notebook, it was more doodles than words. Then one conversation, one little sentence said, and that spark was there. Not a fire, a spark. One that said, try this angle. Your character's too whiny. I was trying so hard to push the next story out before it was even ready. That's when I realized the problem wasn't my goals. It was the way I was trying to reach them. This doesn't change my goals. This changes my approach I took in January. I still believe in putting it on my calendar, but I discovered I missed one important task to add. Play. Me trying to follow the routines of others and judging myself if I didn't live up to them was leading to burnout. I had to remind myself of something I've told you. Read the books, watch the videos, but only take the parts that work for you and leave the rest. I designed my writing planner before I knew why. Looking back, I think the planner was teaching me something I hadn't learned yet. Writers don't just need deadlines, we need space. Space to think, space to write things out, space to plot my writing career. This week's habit is simple. Open your planner or your calendar or whatever system you use. Ask yourself, does this reflect my life and goals or the life and goals of someone I admire online? Make it about you. Arrange it around your best writing hours, your responsibilities, and don't forget to adjust as you go. Don't give up on the goal. Just allow yourself rest when needed, play for inspiration, and quiet time when necessary. We spend so much time trying to become more productive. Maybe creativity is asking something different of us. Maybe it asks us to become more present, to notice when we're tired, to make room for play, to leave space for inspiration. Because stories aren't manufactured, they're discovered. And sometimes discovery begins the moment we stop forcing it. Hey, if you're new here and looking for tips on writing, building a sustainable writing life, and want to talk all things story, then I'm so glad we found each other. I'll be here every Tuesday with a new episode. So be sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss out. And if this episode encouraged you to keep growing as a writer, then be sure to hit the like button and share it with another writer friend that could use the encouragement also. Until next time, happy writing, my friends. Again, my name is Portia Lee Vett, and this is Habits of a Writer.